Hello everyone, I just wanted to get on here and make a video really quick. I wanted to film a what's in my travel makeup bag video before I left, but between taking the kitty to the pet hotel, doing some last minute things for work, planning out all the transportation to be able to visit my dad and my family in China, I didn't have time. But I thought, why not do it anyway now that I'm here and I do have some free time. So this is the train case that I use. I really love this Alice in Wonderland design. I like how all of the items look like they're free-falling when she enters that rabbit hole thing and everything starts to get turned upside down. It's by a Japanese brand called Afternoon Tea. They have really cute stuff. So we're gonna fill this entire thing up with my makeup and other toiletries, I guess you could say. There's nothing in here now, but it comes with a mirror inside. And this is actually detachable, so it's pretty handy. See? Woo, hello. Yeah, I'm just filming freehand because I forgot to pack my little tripod thing in my rush. Okay, so we're gonna start out with the first item, which is my makeup remover wipes from Daiso. These are only 108 yen each. I will be honest, they are not the best. Sorry, there's construction outside, so you might hear some noises throughout this video. But I think the cleansing agent or whatever that they put on these wipes is very minimal. But I think that they are still well worth it for the 100 yen price tag. Plus, as I've mentioned before, I tend to take these into the shower with me. So after like maybe 5 minutes before I'm done with my shower, after the water and the steam has already done its job to loosen the makeup from my face, that's when I go in at the end and use these wipes. And by that point, it works pretty well at removing most of the gunk on my face. I also bring my Fancl Mild Cleansing Oil. This is a travel-sized bottle that I bought just right before, the night before I left. So those go in a plastic baggie and occupy the bottom of my case. Then I bring one sheet mask for my face. This is My Beauty Diaries Black Pearl Face Mask, my favorite mask in the entire world. In the past, I used to bring like 2 or 3 masks for a trip that was 5 days to a week, but I was never able to get through more than one. So I thought, you know what, let me just not overdo it and only bring what I know I'm going to use. I'll probably use this tomorrow night, and then that's all I really need for 5 days. The essence in these masks are so moisturizing and so effective that you really don't need more than 1 per week to revitalize your skin. So 1 is plenty for this trip, and that goes on top of my cleansing products. Then I have my colored contact lenses in a variety of different brands and colors. This one is by Honey Drops and it's in the color light brown. Then I have a few new boxes. This one is by Anekon. It's called Lady Pearl. Oh, I only wear 1-day contact lenses, by the way. I can't deal with the 2-week ones. Like, no matter how many times I wash them with the solution, they still sting really badly after the 2nd or 3rd day. So I prefer to just use 1-day throwaway contacts. This is another brand, Motekan, in Milk Tea Ash. Usually for like day-to-day life, I use the cheaper brands, such as these in here. They usually have 10 contacts per box, and it ranges from like 1,000 to 1,500 yen. But these are a little bit fancier. They only have 2 contacts per box. So I save these for special occasions, like when I'm on vacation or I'm going somewhere important, which you will probably see on Saturday actually. I think I'm gonna put up a little vlog about it. Okay, and then next I'm bringing along the Milky Skin Mask by Majolica Majorca. I just got this a few days ago actually. This was recommended by Vivi Meg on her Instagram page, so of course I had to get it. I've used it a couple of times since I got it, but I'm keeping it in the box because I want to feature it in an upcoming review video. I mean, the bottle itself also has a really nice design, but I feel like you can't really get the full experience, particularly when you're talking about Japanese or Asian beauty products, unless you include the outer packaging as well. Especially if it comes in a box. I feel like the makeup manufacturers here, they really put a lot of effort into having a cohesive aesthetic from the outside packaging to the actual product. And I want to give you guys that full realistic experience as often as possible. So we're holding on to the box for now. And then I'm bringing my favorite contour powder at the moment by Humi, Shinobu Igari's brand. I think this color suits me really well and it's very easy to blend. And it comes with its own portable brush, so that's perfect for traveling. Also bringing along my Shiseido Spots Cover Foundation, which you've seen me use in numerous videos here on my channel. This has been one of my favorite concealers for the past 8 years, almost. Yeah, I've tried a bunch of different concealer brands in Asia. They often tend to be really sheer and watery and just, I don't know. I'm just not really satisfied with the lackluster coverage that they give, particularly to my under eye area. I really need to cover those purple bags completely, you know? Yeah, nothing really holds a candle to Shiseido Spots Cover Foundation when it comes to that. Another face product that I can't live without, you guys have seen this a million times as well, Cezanne's Pearl Glow Highlight. I even brought 2 brand new sealed, unopened ones to give to my cousin and aunt. We'll fit those in the side here. I'm only bringing one blush color, which is the Cat Cheek color by Etuse. I just did a first impressions on this in one of my previous videos. Despite the fact that it's not very pigmented at all, in fact, I would say that the color payoff is more of a pastel color than a flush of, you know, peach. It actually goes on very pastel-y. I guess the idea is to make your skin look like a baby's skin. I'm not always trying to look like a baby prostitute, but I can understand what they're going for. It comes with its own applicator, which is not the best, but it's convenient for travel. So yeah, when it's on your cheeks, it actually reads more pastel-y, almost like a wet sheen. It kind of glistens, I guess, when the light hits your face. But yeah, I know that I'll be mad at myself if I don't at least attempt to get some good use out of this. So that's why I only chose to bring this as my blush option on this trip. Finally, to round out the face/skin products, I'm bringing along a mini size of the Kate Powdery Skin Maker Foundation, along with my Beauty Blender, which is my favorite way to apply this foundation, and 3 eyeshadow brushes. 2 for laying down color and blending, and 1 for applying like inner corner highlight or brow bone highlight and that sort of stuff. So yeah, that's really all I need for the tools department, and this bag came with the mini foundation size. So in we go. Wait, actually I lied. I have more skin related stuff. This was gifted to me by the lovely Vivi Meg, the Moist Refine Emulsion 2 by Fancl. I'm assuming this is part of some super complicated 5-10 step skincare program that they have. Confession, I actually don't know that much about skincare. It's one of the blessings and curses, I guess, of being born with really good skin. I've never had to really worry about acne or breakouts or anything like that. And even recently, the only problem that I ever really run into is that my skin tends to get oilier after the age of like 25. I don't know if it's because of a change in my diet or just the natural aging process or what. But yeah, despite all of the skincare products that I've tried and all of the research that I've done, I still can't really tell the difference between the different types of skin lotions. You know, there's facial toner, face lotion, emulsion, essence, day cream, night cream. As far as I'm concerned, the only way that they differ is by consistency and fragrance, I guess. And to be perfectly honest with you, when it's nighttime, like right before I'm going to sleep, I honestly just reach for whatever bottle or product is nearest to me and I slather that all over my face and neck and hope for the best in the morning. And I sort of do the same thing in the morning too before I put on makeup. So I don't know. I mean, one of these days, hopefully I'll be able to truly educate myself on the different properties and effects of all of these different types of products. But for now, I just use whatever works or whatever smells good and feels comfortable on my skin, really. The only thing that I tend to avoid is like super thick creams. And half of me thinks that it's all just a scam anyway to get people to spend more money, because I really don't think that in most cases an 8 or 10 step program is necessary to keep your skin healthy and well balanced. So there's my 2 cents, I guess. Speaking of oily skin, I'm also bringing along my favorite oil absorbing sheets. I don't know what it is with traveling, whether it's the air in the plane or the fact that I'm at a high altitude or just, you know, our bodies changing environments so frequently when we're on the go. I tend to encounter this paradox of my skin both feeling super dry but then feeling sticky and oily at the same time. So it's just nice for me to have an option like this at hand. Not that anyone really expects to look their best during a flight or anything, but it just makes me feel a little more comfortable and cleaner and just an overall more pleasant flying experience. So these have definitely proved to be a little lifesaver more often than not when I've been traveling. Tuck that in this back pocket right here. Now, finally, we move on to the eye products. I can't go anywhere without my MAC paint pot in Painterly. This jar is almost done. And I'm bringing my Visay My Nudie Eyes palette in the color Beige 5, I believe. Yeah, Beige 5, which I've been really enjoying lately. You can see I've gotten quite a bit of use out of it. Before I started posting YouTube videos on a regular basis, I would have just brought only this palette. I actually really dislike traveling with a whole bunch of luggage. I think it stems from the fact that I have to travel quite often due to my family situation and things like that. I often find myself traveling at least twice a year, and then on top of that, sometimes I have to go places for work. So I'm really not a fan of overpacking. Normally I would just bring a single neutral eyeshadow palette that's really compact and straight to the point like this. That's one thing that's really great about Japanese eyeshadow palettes, is that all of them are pretty much travel friendly sizes. But since I am a bona fide YouTuber now, I brought quite a few other eyeshadow options with me on this trip. I brought the Excel Real Clothes eyeshadow palettes in 2 different color variations. This one is a cooler purple / maroon themed one, and this one is a neutral brown with a pop of green. And then I'm bringing along these 2 RMK Duo shadow things, which were ridiculously overpriced. I think they were like over 4,000 yen each. Basically only bought them for the packaging. Honestly, I've worn these both a couple of times, but I'm still not sure how I feel about these. They're definitely the most unique eyeshadow formula that I've ever encountered. They're like powders at the end of the day, but they have this sort of like moist, creamy finish. And you know, they're very on brand for high-end Japanese makeup, I guess. You have the neutral browns with just a pop of color. They don't apply well at all with brushes. You have to either use your fingers or like the little standard felt tip applicator that they give here. I tend to just use my fingers, or I find a brush with smoother bristles, like a concealer brush or something like that, to apply these with. They also, funnily enough, don't work at all if you put on an eyeshadow base beforehand. You have to apply these to your eyes bare. But you know what? The packaging is super cute, and they are really nice for when you're in a rush, but you still want to play with color. I like the fact that you can easily create a colorful halo eye look with these, so I'm gonna keep them, and I don't regret buying them. However, I don't suggest that anyone else purchase these. Unless you have money to spare and you want it for collection purposes like me. But if you're someone that's looking to get as much value as you can out of your 40 bucks, don't go for anything by the brand RMK, actually. There, I said it. I don't think this brand is worth the money at all, and especially to a non-Asian audience. I just don't think that their philosophy and their aesthetic translates very well to what the Western market is looking for. But nevertheless, I brought them along with me just for the sake of having options. And in the same vein, I have these 2 duochrome eyeshadow colors from the drugstore brand Kiss at a significantly lower price point than the RMK, of course. These are only 1,100 yen a pop, although that's still pretty pricey for drugstore in my opinion. But yeah, I brought these along. They're brand new, unopened, because I wanted to make a review video on them while I was here. And along with that, also from Kiss, I have these 2 lipstick colors. This one I have already opened and have been using a lot lately. I love this old school slide up packaging. This reminds me of like Bonnie Bell lip glosses in the early 2000s. I actually think this is one of the most underrated packagings for a lipstick that you could have. It's so convenient. Like, I don't know why it hasn't stood the test of time or more companies haven't adopted it. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this lately, and I will be reviewing 2 colors in my Kiss dedicated Japanese brand review video. Okay, I'm actually gonna take these oil blotting sheets out here and put it outside this pocket, and I'm gonna use this pocket for all of my lipsticks that I'm bringing. Again, if I wasn't doing YouTube, I would only bring 1 or 2 colors. But since I'm starting for the internet now, I'm bringing along a lot more. So I have my 2 RMK lipsticks here that, again, I bought mostly for the packaging, and I wouldn't recommend you buy if you're someone that wants to get the most bang out of your buck. You know, they're not the best formula or finish, but I don't regret buying them. I mean, they're quite pretty. They have the like 2 different formulas and colors on the outside and the inner circle. Here, sorry, it wasn't focusing over the makeup bag, but yeah, I mean, it's not great, but I still like it, and it is very pretty to look at. Not only the outside packaging, but also the lipstick itself. That jelly-like substance in the center there is supposed to be extra moisturizing, and it creates like a fun, simple little gradient on your lips. So definitely bringing those along. And then also my recently discovered Vise Avant lipsticks, which I'm not going to open because they're just like normal beige brown colors. But I really like the formula. They are like moisturizing and nourishing without being overly glossy and not matte enough to the point where they dry out your lips. So it's kind of like that perfect middle ground for me. Those go inside the pocket as well. And then I'm just bringing along a regular old chapstick. This is like less than 200 yen at the drugstore, called Water Lip by Mentholatum, and yeah, I've been using it for years and years. It's just super moisturizing, and I've never found a chapstick or lip treatment that I like better than this. I'm actually thinking about doing a greatest of all time, or GOAT, you know, GOAT makeup products, where I show you like all of the products that are basically a permanent mainstay or have been for the past several years in my makeup collection. This is definitely on that list. Like, I couldn't even tell you how many tubes of this I went through. And I also buy a bunch for my mom and my aunts and cousins whenever I visit as well. Speaking of GOAT, this is another one. It's I Talk by Koji, I believe. I use this for eyelash glue. Its original purpose is actually intended for creating like a double eyelid on people that have monolids or they don't have as pronounced of an eyelid as they like. It's a well-known thing in Asia. People who aren't familiar with the beauty trends in this part of the world might be a little freaked out when they first hear or see of this trend, but it's quite common, and you know, it is what it is. But I use this exclusively for eyelash glue. I'm telling you, like, this stuff keeps my eyelashes on my lids through hurricanes and earthquakes and everything else in between. I wouldn't say it's the best in terms of like the best quality out there. You're never gonna find anything better. I'm sure there are better eyelash glues out there. For me, you know, I tend to be a creature of habit sometimes, especially when it comes to more practical like tools or items. In this case, you know, an eyelash glue is not really, it doesn't really serve any aesthetic purpose. So as long as it works well enough, I don't really have any complaints. Plus, I'm just too lazy to go out there and test different false eyelash glues, you know, like it just doesn't seem worth it to me. That's the reason why I've been writing with iTalk for as many years as I have. And it's gonna go in here. Okay, we are finally winding down to the last items. This video, turned out to be a lot longer than I expected, but let's just speed through these then. So I have my Kate Eyebrow Creating Duo. You guys have seen me use this before. This is a dual-ended pencil with a pencil and powder end, along with a mini version of their 3D eyebrow color, which is eyebrow mascara. And living in Japan for as long as I have, I just can't do my eyebrows in less than 2 steps. Like, I have to use the 3-step program of pencil, powder, and eyebrow mascara. It doesn't seem right otherwise. There we go. My Leonani liquid eyeliner in black that I use every single day of my life. I love this one because not only is it super black, like carbon level black, it also dries to a matte finish, which I think looks just a tad more sophisticated and elegant than some of the other liquid eyeshadow or liquid eyeliner formulas that I've tried. It's a very subtle difference that other people probably wouldn't notice, but it makes me feel better when I'm inspecting my face really closely in the mirror. Can't travel without that. And then of course I have my Deja Vu Keep Style tubing mascara. I love the sparkly cap on this particular bottle, which was like a limited edition Christmas or winter design. Shu Uemura eyelash curler, another GOAT item. A bunch of eyelashes from Daiso. These were 108 yen for every pack of 3 pairs. Can't beat that kind of bargain. My NYX lip liner in Ever. I wish I had more lip liners in the actual colors of like all of my different lipsticks, but I don't know. I guess it's low on my priority list, so For now, I basically just use like the same 3. I mean, I tend to wear basically the same brown nudie colors all the time anyway. Sometimes I'll do a coral or a red, but as long as my lip liner matches my natural lip color, I don't know, I feel like usually we can make it work. I have my Sweet Sweets sparkling eyeglass. It's nice to have this one on hand to throw on the center of my lid whenever I want to add that extra shine. I'll just slide that flat, I guess. This is another lip product by Coffret d'Or. Coffret d'Or, I've been meaning to do a full-on dedicated brand review video too, but the problem is that they are so freaking expensive. This is a lip gloss and lipstick duo, and I think this was like over 3,000 yen. That's the thing about Japanese drugstore, you know, they actually have several different levels of pricing in there, so it's kind of a misnomer. You can't really equate it to what's thought of as drugstore prices or drugstore quality in the States. There's like several levels of pricing and quality in the Japanese drugstore. So, I mean, it's kind of almost the same as Sephora in a way, but I digress. So yeah, this is a dual-ended lipstick and lip gloss. Kind of underwhelming, to be honest with you. I mean, it's pretty, but I don't reach for it every day, and I think one of my biggest gripes is the fact that this, the lipstick part is just too thin of a tube for me, I guess. I know the idea is to give you like more precision when you're applying, and I'm sure that for people with smaller lips than me, maybe it's the perfect size, but I tend to need a little more width, if you know what I'm saying, when it comes to lipsticks. But in any case, I paid over 3,000 yen for this, so I better bring this along and use it. Oh, I have a handful of Q-tips that I always bring along too. I like to use these to kind of fix and perfect my eyebrows whenever I sort of go out of the lines or something like that. They're also quite handy for, I don't know, picking your nose? Is that TMI? I mean, I feel like everyone does it, and it's better that I do it with a Q-tip than my fingers, right? In they go to this pocket on the side here. And then we're almost done, you guys, I promise. This little contraption here, you guys might think this is super weird. You use this by pinching it onto your nose, and then you leave it there for like 30 minutes or an hour. Sometimes I like to do that like an hour before I go out to eat with people or something, or if I know I'm gonna be photographed, because it makes my nose skinnier. The reason that I use this is because I used to have like the cutest little small button nose. It just seems to spread wider and wider every year, and yeah, I don't want to talk about it. To pinch my nose. Oh. Just leave it on for an hour before you have to go somewhere, and then it will be like snatched. So yeah, I use this to battle the forces of nature and time. And finally, woo! If you've made it this far in the video, please comment a strawberry emoji. My last item is, of course, this travel toothbrush and toothpaste set. I don't know about you, whenever I travel anywhere, I feel like I end up brushing my teeth like 10 times a day. I think it just stems from the fact that I'm confined in such a small space for a long period of time. Like, no matter how many books or movies or things that you bring to occupy yourself with, you're still kind of just stuck there with yourself and your own thoughts and your own awareness of like how stinky your mouth is, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, I'm borderline obsessive about brushing my teeth when I'm on the go, especially when I'm on a plane. Like every single time after a drink or a meal, I immediately run up to go to the bathroom and brush my teeth. It just makes me feel cleaner and more in control of myself. Okay, and we're gonna stick the mirror back on, the Velcro here. Voila, there we have it. That is the conclusion of what's in my travel makeup bag. This little train case, love it so much. It's kind of shocking that it's able to hold like all of the stuff that I crammed into it, but that's why I love it. It's actually not even that heavy, so I don't know, like I almost feel like I should maybe carry this around with me on an everyday basis, because all of those products that I just showed you, I really have all my bases covered with that. So yeah, maybe not a bad idea. I live by the motto that you should always be prepared for fate. And in that definition of being prepared, I include the notion of having a beat face.